Secretary of the Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, DIPP, 2014 to 16, Government of India. Under his leadership, Niti Aayog undertook extensive work on sustainable development goals across the country. He supervised the development of the country's first regional district SDG monitoring system in the form of the Northeastern Region District SDG Index and Dashboard, which covers all North Indian states and their 120 districts. He has been a key driver of flagship national initiatives such as Startup India, Make in India, Incredible India, Kerala's God's Own Country, and the Aspirational Districts Program, and many others. These initiatives have repositioned India and has given widely recognition for its transformative changes. Besides all these administrative accomplishments, Mr. Amitabh Kantji is also an author of acclaim. He has authored the books like Made in India, Branding India, an Incredible Story, Incredible India 2.0, editor of The Path Ahead, Transformative Ideas for India, and of course, more than 500 articles in leading Indian newspapers. No surprise, there have been several recognitions for him, including Economic Times Policy Change Agent of the Year Award, Bloomberg TV Personality of the Year Award, NDTV Administrator of the Year Award, Distinguished Fellowship of the Institutes of Directors, and many others, including he is the recipient of one Globe Award of 2016 for leadership in transforming governance for the 21st century. He is also the recipient of Sir Edmund Hillary Fellowship awarded by the Honorable Prime Minister of New Zealand. India Today's High and Mighty Rankings of 2019 featured Kant as one of the most powerful people in India under the category of the supercrats, India's top bureaucrats. With this brief introduction, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Mr. Amitabh Kant for delivering this prestigious lecture. Mr. Amitabh Kantji, it is indeed an honor for all of us to have you, and now the dais is yours. Thank you very much for kindly accepting our invitation, and thank you for being here. Welcome to Mr.
Kant. Dr. Himanshu Pathak, Dr. Nicolan Dehan, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me at the outset compliment the DGICR for hosting this very unique conference on gender equality. A gender conference in the case of agriculture is highly welcome. As the India's G20 presidency, the leaders' declaration has a very ambitious focus on gender equality, women empowerment, what our Prime Minister has termed as women-led development in a very big way. In fact, the biggest focus of India's G20 presidency, as far as the leaders' declaration, has been on women. A recent study by the World Economic Forum has said that it will take 132 years to bring gender equality. None of us have 132 years. We do not have that luxury of time. We need to do this within the next decade. And if gender equality has to be brought in, it's not feasible without the agriculture sector. Particularly in developing countries and emerging countries and countries of the global south, is the agriculture sector which will play a very key and a critical role in bringing gender equality. And therefore, my belief is that agriculture sector and allied activities of agriculture will have to take the lead in this. Women actively participate in agri-food systems in many multifaceted roles. They are not only farmers, they are also engaged as retailers, as wage earners, as entrepreneurs, all of them. And they contribute significantly to the industry's liveliness, its vitality, its value addition, all these areas. Women are the key players. If you look at a report by the FAO, women represent about 36% of the agricultural labor force in the world, but in countries like in India, it'll be a much higher component. Even so, unequal access to land, credit, technology, and training, all of this, unequal access to them, hinders women's ability to optimize their agricultural productivity and their entrepreneurial potential. For instance, there are several studies which say that women own less than 20% of the land. All the land is registered in the name of men, not in the name of women, farmers. And therefore, there's unequal access, there's lack of ownership. If you look at the statistics, however, in the case of our country, in the case of India, NSSO tells us that about 73% of rural women are engaged in agriculture. 73%. That's an extraordinary number, are engaged in agriculture in some capacity or the other. The Agricultural Census of India 2015-16 gave a different figure, but I'm inclined to go by the NSSO figures. In terms of access to credit facility, as per a study carried out by NABARD, only about 10 to 15% of the agriculture credit goes to women farmers in India. So therefore, men own land, credit flows to men, and women remain at a disadvantage. And these statistics reveal that there exists very profound gender disparities that persist within agri-food systems. Ensuring that women have equitable access to resources, services, technologies, training, can alone play a vital role in narrowing the gender disparity in production and productivity. And therefore, if productivity has to go up, if production has to go up, if greater access to technology has to take place, all this, women have to play a critical role. And this would require us to tackle the structural disparities and discrimination as well. The empowerment of women plays a very pivotal role in shaping economic and social progress. And that is why in G20, we laid focus on women empowerment and gender equality. Projects which aimed at empowering women yield greater benefits compared to those merely incorporating gender considerations. While over half of the funding allocated to agriculture and rural development at the bilateral level integrates gender perspectives, only a mere 6% of it considers gender as a foundational aspect. If development initiatives concentrating on women's empowerment reached half of the small-scale producers, it could substantially elevate the incomes of an additional 58 million individuals and enhance the resilience of an additional 235 million people. That is the level of impact it will have. And therefore, addressing research gaps is the first step towards addressing these issues. Even within G20, strides have been taken to tackle the gender question in achieving the sustainable development goals, and particularly in the agriculture sector. G20 countries have shown significant commitment to advancing gender equality and women's empowerment. But now, to my mind, it's not just declarations, but it's crucial to take concrete action. The G20 countries are home to over 4.9 billion people, including millions of small-scale farmers, with India alone having more than 126 million smallholder farms and over 500 million residing in Africa. Approximately half of these smallholders are women. Currently, women farmers are facing severe challenges due to a combination of crises, including COVID, climate change, conflicts, and all these global assessments reveal that women's vulnerability to food security, to the food insecurity, is about 27% higher than that of men. And in 2021, 150 million more women than men experience food insecurity. That is a gap 8 times larger than in 2018. So between 2018 and 2021, this has widened 8 times. Achieving SDG 5, gender equality and empowerment of women and girls by 2030, to my mind, looks very difficult without a breakthrough in the agriculture sector. The agriculture sector holds the key. The worsening gender gap in food security reflects the setback in progress towards global goals for gender equality and women empowerment. And this is primarily due to the ongoing crises such as climate change and COVID. The growing inequality also hinders the ability to respond effectively to these crises, threatening rural communities and landscapes worldwide. And urgent action is needed. Among G20 member countries, only 3 are considered to have made fast progress towards gender equality between 2015 and 20. And these countries started from poor to very poor initial positions. Most countries scored poorly in 2020, highlighting the substantial work required to provide equal opportunities for women in many regions. So, our key focus areas has to be investment in food security and nutrition. It has to be climate smart approaches. It has to be inclusive agricultural value chains. And it has to be digitization for agricultural transformation. Research by CGIAR and its partner underscores the importance of focusing on these priority areas in agricultural development while paying specific attention to the inclusion of women and youth. Women are crucial in driving productivity, sustainability, and resilience in food system. Gender-responsive technology development is key to enhancing the effectiveness and adoption of new agricultural technologies. For example, in Kenya and Tanzania, adapting bean threshers to be smaller and portable has increased women farmers' access and benefit. Collaborative efforts amongst farmers and women groups have resulted in increased profit. Climate-smart solutions designed to work for women can increase resilience for everyone. Women's participation in decision-making, reduced work burdens, access to resources, and engagement in collective actions like cooperatives and self-help groups are vital. For instance, supporting women collective action through seed networks in Bangladesh has helped protect local food system diversity. Women-to-women networks in value chain offer promising pathways to inclusive women empowerment. Research across 9 African countries suggests that collective action and network helps women overcome barriers to developing successful enterprises. Improving access to formal financial sources like banks and enhancing credit worthiness are crucial for women's business growth. Equitable and inclusive approaches are necessary to ensure that digitization for agriculture transformation includes and benefits women. While digitalization holds promise, the gender gap in mobile ownership persists in low and middle income countries. Overcoming this gap of mobile ownership and adapting digital content to women's needs can help resolve gender disparities in access to information, financial services, and also decision-making power. The information technology network can enable women to learn about new agricultural practices, access services, expand networks, and enhance their agency within households. And therefore, mobile connectivity and mobile access really is the key. The New Delhi Leaders' Declaration reflects the G20 countries' firm commitment to changing the status quo and in accelerating progress towards gender equality and women's empowerment. It recognizes that progress is vital for achieving the 2030 agenda. While the recent G20 summit marks progress, there's huge work to be done in terms of action. The conference, the G20 declaration, serves as a timely and essential platform to offer, and this particular conference is critical because it offers agricultural gender research recommendation and insights, and it is critical to implement the recommendations of this conference. During India's time as the leader of G20, we have shown that strong leadership is necessary for women empowerment. It's a moment for all of us to take this forward and to ensure that women take leadership in areas like agriculture, food security, nutrition, and while addressing climate change. This means that all of us sitting in this hall need to be trailblazers and serve as a positive example. And we need to be the first change agents. We must develop and put into practice policies that can turn our hopes into real, tangible results. In this huge effort, and it's a huge effort, we'll count on communities like yours to provide us with the real-world evidence we need to guide us towards proven solutions that align us towards gender equality. We in G20 are looking forward to the outcomes of this conference, and we'll keep working closely with all of you in the academic community to advance food systems that are fairer and more resilient in not merely India, but in all countries of the world, particularly in the global south, and particularly in the developing countries and the emerging markets. That will hold really the key. That'll hold the key to gender equality. That'll hold the key to gender equality in agri-food systems. And therefore, today's conference and its recommendations are critical and vital, and we look forward to receiving these recommendations. Thank you very much. We would like to then take them forward for implementation. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Dr. Amitabh Kant, and I'll request that you stay right there because we have something special for you. You have done a lot of work to elevate women-led development among the G20 countries, and that's where it starts. So let's see the gift that we have for you, and Dr. Pathak will present it, and then Nicolene will come on stage to do the thank you. So Mr. Kant's gift is a headrest from Africa. As you know, he bore the weight of G20. So did you sleep, actually? Did you sleep in the days leading up to the G20 conference, the G20 summit? No sleep for 9 days. So we present that headrest designed to cradle the neck and support the head. And in Amharic, it's called Pillow of My Land. So we do hope that after that great event that you had and hosted here, that you'll be able to take a bit of rest. Thank you very much. And now, Dr. Dihan will join us on stage.
It is my honor to stand up here again to thank Mr. Kant for his inspirational speech. I think we can call him one of the revolutionaries we want in our new revolution to make sure that women are part and lead the agri-food system. So I appreciate all the work he's done. Thank you for your passion. That was clear. So I think that we need to work forward on that. I also appreciated very much that you talk about not just proclamations. We've had many proclamations when we talk about gender, but let's get down to action. And that's again why it's so nice with research to impact. Let's actually have an impact. We need strong leadership, and so we count on you, Mr. Kant, but also Dr. Patak, to actually move us forward on the strong leadership, but also all the people in this room. We count on your strong leadership too to move our revolution forward, be change agents as we move forward. So once again, Mr. Kant, thank you very much. Unfortunately, we still have something for you. Or do you want to go, Patak? So unfortunately, Dr. Patak has to go to another meeting in Cochin, but because he has been such a good and an amazing leader in this for us and an amazing partner, we also have something to give to him. So, Ranjita, can you please give it to Dr. Patak? So this is a statue of a woman also from Africa. She's carrying a child, and this is when she gets up in the morning to start all her different jobs. And so it reminds us that we all have different duties as we move forward. So once again, Dr. Patak, really appreciate everything you've done for us. Mr. Kant, thank you very much.
Thank you. A round of applause for the three of them. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of this morning inaugural session. We were to end at 1, but I have just saved you 13 minutes. And thanks again to the great speakers we had today and for your great participation and really for your patience. It is not easy to keep adults in class. Those of you who've tried to go back to school, you know that how hard it is to sit even for 30 minutes. So please appreciate yourselves for being with us. I had promised the Wi-Fi cord, here it goes. Don't make it crash. Find any of the conference named gender, there are 2 networks, and key in the password gender 2023. So gender is capital, the rest of it small letters. Download the conference, go to the conference website, download the conference program. As I promised, tomorrow morning you'll have a hard copy, but today we'll make do with a soft copy. Those of you who had left your bags in the luggage storage area, please collect it now. Now the security protocol has been relaxed, but please, we need you to be aware of your surroundings. As always, where there are many people gathered, we want to ensure that you're safe. Lunch will be served shortly in the multi-purpose hall dining area. I know that tea is also available. It would have been served earlier, but again, for reasons beyond our control, we couldn't avail that to you. So you will have your lunch shortly. If you need to have the tea, please feel free to go ahead. See you back here at 2 p.m. Again, I will be your moderator for the next of this session, and I am Vivian Nerea, and I will add a G, probably? Vivian Nerea G? I had that. Anyway, see you again at 2 p.m. right here. Thank you.
Meet Amina. She's a farmer. She sows and harvests. She feeds and tends her family's animals, collects fuel wood, carries water. She sells crops she grows. She shops and She funds her children's education, cleans house, takes care of the sick and elderly. Despite all of this, Amina has less access to assets, opportunities, and benefits than her husband, her brother, her father, or her son, much less. This inequality hurts more than women and girls. It holds back whole communities and societies. If the world's women and men food producers had equal access to resources, yields would increase and everyone would have more and better food. The number of hungry people could be reduced by 150 million. If women and men had equal access to land, loans and learning, if the norms and policies that favor men today included women's preferences, realities and ambitions, together, men and women could transform lives and livelihoods. Join the CGIAR Gender Platform. Help us build and use evidence to make gender equality central to agriculture and our entire food system. Because when wives, sisters, mothers and daughters move forward on equal footing with their husbands, brothers, fathers and sons, both people and planet will be well and truly nourished, finally.
We know that women do a lot of the labor in agriculture, so why not get the technologies in their hands and get the right technologies in their hands and get the even cutting edge technologies in their hands.
So most women do not adopt technologies, whether crops or livestock, such as, for example, new breeds. I would say for two main reasons. One has to do with the fact that these technologies are not necessarily responding to the needs of the women.
You'll find that women, they have a lot of responsibilities in their communities, a lot of responsibilities at the household, and